Hi, welcome to Tapping Away the Holiday Blues, Creating Happiness and Joy. Isn't it time to get your merry ho-ho on? This is Reverend Betsy Rossum. Does seeing all the holiday decorations up make you feel uncomfortable or upset? The difference between how you feel and how you think you feel can cause guilt and confusion, which will start you off to feeling negative, even before any of the celebrations begin. Allow yourself to feel what you feel and don't compare yourself to others. Spend some time tapping on your feelings, which will take the charge out of them. Today we're going to do some tapping on some of these issues around the holidays that might have us stressed or feeling uncomfortable or overwhelmed. These are the tapping points, and we start out with the tapping phrase, even though I feel, and you describe the feeling, maybe overwhelmed or just stressed in general. Okay, those are the things that we're going to be talking about. Even though I feel stressed about the holidays, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And you're going to start at the karate chop point. And you usually tap, about 4, 5, 6 times. And it's important to focus on your feelings and not the process. Because when you tap your energy points and you're actually releasing the feelings through those energy points. And if you're busy thinking about doing it right, you're not focused on feelings and you're not releasing them. So it's really important let's look ahead at the top of the head, the eyebrow, the side of the eye, under the nose, the chin, the collarbone, under the arm, and back to the karate point, chop point. That's how we do it. And I'm going to be doing it with you. And I don't want you to worry about doing it right. What I do want you to focus on is the feelings around the holiday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the camcorder back on. I'm going to show up. I'm going to close this. And we're going to do some tapping on seeing the holiday decorations and actually looking at feeling overwhelmed around the holidays. So let's go ahead and start tapping. Even though I have this feeling of overwhelm around the holidays, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. This feeling of overwhelm. Oh my gosh, these feelings are so overwhelming. We didn't even finish Halloween and they already started putting the Christmas stuff out. I can't believe it. I haven't even started. I have so much to do. And I want everything to be perfect. I can't believe how much I have to do for the holidays. I'm just feeling overwhelmed. I don't even want to bother with them. I just wish it would skip to January. I just have these overwhelming feelings about the holidays. It's always my responsibility. All these feelings about the holidays. Oh my gosh, overwhelmed, stressed out. I have so much other stuff to do. I can't take off work just to focus on the holidays. Oh my gosh, I just have so much to do. I have these feelings. Even though I have these feelings of overwhelm about the holidays, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Take a deep breath. Release and let go. That's how we tap. We get into those feelings about what's going on. And I'm going to be switching back and forth between the slide presentation and the camcorder. And I might just keep my camcorder up there. Right now, you already know how to do the tapping. Here, 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 here. Collarbone, saw under the arm, and back to here. And like I said, it's more important to focus on the feelings so that they're released than the actual process of it all. Don't get hung up in the process. So let's go back to my slides. Open the presentation, and I think this is where we left off. Nope. Okay, yep, it is. Okay, let's look at the next slide. Do you feel overwhelmed, too much to do and not enough time? I want you to be reasonable with your schedule. Don't overbook your schedule or you'll become exhausted, cranky, irritable, and depressed. You may also lower your immune system and end up getting sick. So let's decide what's really important and let go of the rest. Take this off for now. There's no such thing as perfect. Let's tap on the overwhelmed feelings that you might have. Let's talk about this schedule. I think probably the best way to do it is to sit down and look at a calendar and look at what's coming up, what you've already scheduled, and be reasonable and look at it in a reasonable way at that schedule and realize, sit down and say, okay, what's really important here? What do I need to let go of? And what kind of things can simplify my situation, my holidays, so that I enjoy it as well as everybody else? Again, look at your schedule and write those things down. Write a to-do list, things that you want to do, things that you need to do. And then look at that list and say, what can I let go of? Because we don't want to overwhelm ourselves. And I think, so let's go back to the camcorder and start tapping. Even though I feel overwhelmed and there's just not enough time, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. There's just not enough time to do all the things I want to do. I want to make this perfect holiday, and I have so many things to do. There's just not enough time to do it. And I'm expected to do it all. I'm expected to do it all, and there's just not enough time. I feel stressed. I feel anxious. I feel really worried that I'm just not going to get everything done. And I'm going to be embarrassed by it all because people think I'm just perfect. I'm the perfect holiday hostess. And I just don't think there's enough time. I have my work to do. I have my family. I have all these things I have to do. And who's going to do the laundry? Who's going to do all the daily tasks while I focus on getting the holiday stuff done? There's just not enough time. There's not enough time for me to get this all done. Even though I feel like there's not enough time, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Take a deep breath. And that's another thing that we want to talk about. We want to talk about delegating it with your schedule. Look at the things that other people can do. I know when my kids were home and they were little, I actually had them help me with decorating around the house. I gave them specific tasks that I knew they were capable of, and they were at a time when we were all together and we could share it as a joyous memory. So don't be afraid to delegate. And when you delegate, you need to ask yourself, if this doesn't get done, how am I going to feel about it? Or if it doesn't get done the way I want it to get done, ask how you're going to feel about it. And make sure these are activities that you are willing to let go of the outcome as far as how they turn out. Again, we did some tapping. And let's look at the next slide. Are you expecting to create the perfect postcard holiday? So many of us women do. Martha Stewart set such a high standard for us. And do you have memories of the past that you're trying to recreate when things have already changed? Maybe you've had some changes and you're not living in that perfect postcard house anymore with the perfect postcard lights. Maybe it's time to change some of those traditions. Maybe your family's changed. You have a new child or you have a new spouse and things are different. And you want to change those holiday traditions with the changes that are occurring with yourself. You can avoid disappointing yourself, trying to live up to unrealistic expectations of traditions that are meaningful to others, but really don't fit your life today. If you've always gone and visited with a certain family member and that family member has made enough changes in their life that it doesn't jive with what you're doing today. And it's okay to change your plans and again, change what's important to you. Write down your feelings about having a perfect postcard holiday. And then let's tap on them. And I think it's what I do with my clients is I usually suggest that you have a tapping journal. And during everyday life, something pops up that's a trigger that you feel uncomfortable about. Write it down because that's something to tap on. That's something to release. I apologize for my little Maltese. Come here. It's okay. Thank you very much for warning me. Thank you. Very good. You're a good girl. She's come here. Thank you. That's enough. One bark is good. Thank you very much. You're such a good little protector. Thank you. Yes, so she's my protector. Come on, you want to come up here with me? You want to help me? You can help me. Okay. I'm going to help Mommy. Okay. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, our fur babies are part of this process too, and how we expect them to behave. There's ducks outside, and she's really concerned about the ducks. And they're not going to come in the house, I promise, okay? Okay. It's time to go. There you go. So, perfect postcard holidays and what they mean to us. Let's go ahead and tap on that. There's the tapping points. I'm going to put those up with my camera there so that you have an idea where to tap. And even though I don't have the same traditions as I used to have, even though I feel concerned about what other people think, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I have these memories, and they're not who I am today. I want to have it differently. There's family traditions that just don't fit me anymore. And I want to change those things because I need to feel what's right for me. Even though I have these feelings of I'm wanting to change, I'm really concerned about how other people are going to react. See, I like to please people. I have this feeling of people pleasing. I want everybody to be happy. I know that's not possible. But I have these feelings of anxiety that if I make some changes, people aren't going to like it. They're going to be upset with me. And that's what's hard to handle. What's really hard to handle is people being upset because I've decided to change my mind. I've decided to make some of my own traditions for my own family and for me that work for me and fit for me today. So I have these feelings of uneasiness, concern. Even though I have these feelings of concern about whether people will think about me making changes, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Take a deep breath. Release and let go. This is a big one for me. When we reflect on holidays past, we have lost loved ones, the grief and loss you may feel can put a damper on any celebrations and feelings of joy. Just recently, I lost my youngest daughter to a driving accident. I know my holidays will be different. I know this Thanksgiving, we're going to be going up to share Thanksgiving with my brother and his wife. And I have a memory when my daughter went with us and how much fun we had playing board games after dinner and the joking and joviality. And I know last year she came to visit me at Thanksgiving as well. So this year, Thanksgiving is going to look a little bit different. Losses can include empty nest, loss of a job that could be a financial concern, loss of family through divorce. Your family may look a little bit different, or even a new home. Maybe you lost a home or you're in a new home. If you're grieving a loss during this time, you want to tap around those feelings of loss. You want to release the negative energy around it so that you can enjoy what's happening, because with every loss, there's something new that's come around. Then schedule some time to be with others, whether it means volunteering in a soup kitchen or nursing home, helping to share with holiday cheer. When we act as if, sometimes the feelings that are congruent with the actions follow. I know that my husband and I, every year during Christmas, we do celebrate Christmas because my family changed, because this was a new relationship, and it's a 10-year marriage, and my father's children aren't the man I'm married to at the time. And because we wanted to create our own traditions and we wanted our own situation, my kids lived too far away most of the time to come at Christmas, and they had their own ideas of how they wanted to celebrate Christmas. And same thing with my husband's family. So we were kind of left alone to ourselves during Christmas holiday. Thanksgiving was a little different, but Christmas was a little bit challenging. So we created our own.
It's 2 o'clock.
Thank you. I have excuse that please, because I do have a monitor on my, note on my laptop to remind me every half an hour of the time so that I don't lose track of time. It's it's a good tool for keeping me on schedule. So anyway, back to the story of our Christmas holidays. Now we celebrate it in our own way. We have a Christmas Eve service that we attend and a potluck dinner after that. And then Christmas morning, instead of waking up and having kids around to open gifts, we don't have that. What we do is we go to a nursing home and we sing Christmas carols at the nursing home, and then we come back and we open our gifts, and then we all have a potluck get together with friends, and that's very important. We've moved about an hour and a half south from this group of people that become our family of choice and helping us celebrate the holidays. We plan on attending anyway because that's the tradition that we've made, and it's going to be really important for me this year because of the loss of my daughter. So these are things that you can do. You can schedule your time if you're grieving a loss, either a loss of a home, loss of a loved one, loss of a family as far as what it used to look like. Empty nest was a huge loss for me. I love the fact that my children are independent and moved on, and they're very successful in their lives, and they have such wonderful lives. But that empty nest is empty, and it was something that I had to grieve over. And so let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and move to the next slide, and let's tap on those feelings because they're pretty strong. Even though I feel the loss of what used to be, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though there's a void at holiday time, this one's hard for me. It's not the way it used to be. And I have these feelings of grief and loss and letting go and knowing that my holiday's going to look different because it is different. Those people are not physically present anymore. My oldest daughter's busy in New York. My son's in California. My youngest is singing with the angels right now. Let's look at the other grief and loss. My family doesn't look like it used to. I'm not in the house of my dreams anymore. I just have this huge loss. And I feel it more during the holiday season. This huge loss, whatever that loss is. Allow myself to grieve. Even though I feel this loss at the holiday season, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Take a deep breath. Now, you can see this was an emotionally charged topic for me because of what I've just been through. And I think it's really important for me to share that because it shows you how real this stuff is. When I first started tapping, my feelings of loss were at about a 10 plus. If I want to measure my anxiety, my SUDS level, significant units of discomfort, we're at about a 10. And after just that little bit of tapping, I was able to release. And it's about down to a 5 or a 6. I'll probably have to tap some more because the loss is very extreme. More extreme than when the empty nest, more extreme than my divorce that happened 11 years ago. So anyway, there's more work that I have to do. That's going in my tapping journal. So again, suggest you make a tapping journal so that you have, when things like this come up and you feel this intense anxiety, stress, worry, concern, fear, pain, that you put it in a tapping journal because it will be very helpful. I'm looking at my notes. I think it's really important for me to be honest and real. And yes, I do have notes. I think it's important to have these notes so that I stay on track because I can have a tendency to be off track. I don't want to miss anything important and vital to share with you. Slide down. We only have now. This moment is a gift. That's why they call it the present. It's time to let go of any resentments related to holidays, as well as any expectations from others, remembering that we really only have today. Stay focused on the now. The holidays aren't the time to unburden resentments with a laundry list of grievances for family members or friends. If somebody in the family or a friend decides it's time to do this, encourage them to stay involved in the present moment. Plan on any deep resolutions for a later time. Check in and say, you know what? Let's just celebrate the moment now, and let's talk about what needs to be resolved later. Let's stay with right now and enjoy the moment. And let's hope that you can do that. I know that I've done this in the past with some family members, and it worked out really, really well. We now have a really good relationship because we focused on the now. And we decided together, later on at another time, we decided to let go of any past resentments or hurts or challenges. And it's quite interesting because most of those resentments were based on a perception on my part that wasn't even true. So this self-discovery of it was really interesting. So let's tap. Let's go back to tapping, and let's tap on those past resentments, and maybe we can lessen them before we go into the holidays, knowing that it'll be easier to create a resolution later on. And I just want you to know that forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean reconciliation. We forgive people for our own benefit so that we can release the resentment, we release the hurt, the pain, the guilt. If the relationship is not valuable to us, it's time to move on. We can still forgive and move on. Forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean reconciliation. But I have to say that reconciliation does require forgiveness. So if you want to reconcile the relationship, if you want the relationship to move forward, the forgiveness has to be part of it. Holiday time is a time to maybe forgive in your mind, let go of the resentment, and deal with a resolution at a later point. So let's go ahead and start tapping. Even though I have this resentment towards, and you name it, whatever. Even though I have this resentment, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. These people, they're not doing what I want them to do. This resentment. I can't believe they did this. And then I'm having them for the holidays. They're going to be in my home, or I'm going to be in their home. And I have to let go of this resentment. Otherwise, it's not going to be fun. I'm not going to enjoy myself. I got to let go of this past and move forward. Even though I have these feelings of resentment, I really don't like what happened. I think they need to apologize. Maybe I need to apologize. Right now is not the time to talk about it, but I can release the resentment. I can release the pain. I can release the hurt. I can release all of this stuff. This yucky stuff. Let go of the feeling of hurt and pain. Knowing they really did their best. I may not agree with it, but I'm letting go of the resentment. And I'm going to be forgiving. Even though I have these feelings of resentment, hurt, and pain, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Take a deep breath. During the holiday season, it's time to take care of yourself. When we're on the airplane, it tells you to put the oxygen mask on yourself first. Well, in other words, take care of yourself first. Otherwise, you're going to be burning yourself out and not be able to be there in a loving way for others. You're not going to enjoy yourself, and you put yourself at risk for being ill, being sick. If you're ever sick, there's so many people that get a cold or flu, either at the tail end of the holidays or or at the beginning of the holidays and they can't enjoy themselves. So make sure that you take time to take care of yourself. Eat healthy, get enough sleep, and some exercise. Be gentle with yourself with this. Don't plan on running half a marathon. Enjoy the holiday and don't, say, well, I can't eat that. I can't eat that. I can't eat that. Enjoy the holiday treats in moderation and get a good night's sleep and move. Just move. Don't plan on, I got to go, include this exercise workout, that you've never done before in the middle of your holiday routine. Just move. Take time to move. Take a walk outside. Enjoy the weather. Maybe a walk after your family holiday meal with family and loved ones could be a new tradition that gets you moving in the direction of taking care of yourself as well as other people. Remember that we can't give what we don't have. If we don't take time to care for ourselves, caring for ourselves is showing that we love ourselves. Don't take time to do this, we can't give to others. So let's go ahead and tap on taking care of myself. Okay. Even though I don't think I have time to take care of myself, everybody else has to come first. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I just don't have time for myself. I don't have time. I'm going to skip my exercise. I'm going to eat junk food. I'm going to just do all the things I shouldn't be doing. I'm not going to take care of myself. Even though I have this feeling of I don't have time to take care of myself. Everybody else has to come first. Everybody comes first, and then I get left with doing all the work. I don't have time to take care of myself because of this huge to-do list. It has to be done because nobody else is going to do it. And I don't have time to take care of myself. Even though I feel like I don't have time to take care of myself, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Take a deep breath. Now you'll notice that I spend a lot of time talking about the negatives when I tap. And this is really, really important because the negative energy is what you're trying to release. If you're focused on positive stuff, you don't want to release the positive stuff. You want to release the negative stuff, and you're releasing it through the energy meridians. These little points that you see, tapping points, are energy points. And that's the points that this negative energy is going to be released. So talking about the negative energy and your negative feelings is what's being released. So if you don't talk about it and you're not focused on those negative feelings getting released, you're not going to have the success that you want. This is why I call it tapping away the crap. You're going to get it out of your system, and this is how you get it out of your system. We have this wonderful thing called the law of attraction. And for the longest time, I thought, well, I should only feel joy all the time. Well, I was suppressing those feelings. I was pushing any negative feelings down, saying they don't matter. They don't count. And the bottom line is they do count. And I'm going to put this is really, really important. They do count. And if we shove negative feelings down, we're going to get sick because that negative energy stays in our body. And whether we think so or not, we're going to attract more of the same because those feelings are still there. We're just not expressing them. So when you tap away the crap, you're expressing these feelings and you're getting rid of them. And you're not going to stay stuck in them. And it's really easy to feel joy and grace and gratitude when you've released these through this process. And that's what causes us to attract more joy in our lives because we've released these negative feelings. We've released this stuff through energy psychology tools like EFT. And I'm going to go back to my slides. I had to get on the soapbox and talk about that. Okay. Changing your thoughts and then practicing acceptance. Worry can cause anxiety and stress that's not necessary. There are things we absolutely have no control over. There's things that sometimes happen. I was on my way to a workshop and I had a flat tire. That's not anything. And it was a nail. My tires were in good shape. They were fairly new tires. I had taken the steps to be safe, and I had 2 nails in them. And I didn't know it. I was very, very grateful that it didn't cause a blowout. It was something that I could handle. And so changing my perception about that, first of all, I didn't overschedule myself. I gave myself 2 hours extra to get there, and I used every bit of those 2 extra hours and got there on time, in spite of the fact that I had to have a new tire put on, and I had to have AAA come out. So it's a really good idea to, again, going back to the schedule, don't overbook and don't overschedule, because there are things that are going to come up that we have absolutely no control over. When these things occur during the holiday season, they can throw us into a huge tailspin or not. If we identify them, accept them for what they are, you have no control over them, and relax, realizing you do have control over your emotions. You have control over your thoughts, changing how you think about them. And practicing acceptance will help you to respond in a mature way instead of reacting. Reacting is something I used to do. And when I react, if I don't stop, I don't think, I don't accept, I don't change the way I look at it, when I don't do those things and I just react immediately, the outcome usually hasn't been very good for me. We live in a world where we have technology that makes everything instantaneous. And because of that, we think that we have to react to everything that occurs us instantaneously. The quicker, the better. And that's not necessarily true. Sometimes the quicker response isn't the best response. So again, changing your thoughts around the situation, practicing acceptance. This could be everything from the turkey didn't thaw out completely. So how would you change your thought about it? Oh, the Thanksgiving dinner is ruined because the turkey didn't thaw out and it's not done. Well, you know what? You stick it in the fridge and you go out for dinner. And the Chinese restaurants are always open at Thanksgiving and during the holidays. You change your thought. You may create a new tradition because this is what happened. Ordering pizza. There's always a way to change your thoughts about it, to realize there is a solution. May not be ideal in your mind, but the upsetness about the situation, being upset and trying to control the situation, can cause more emotional stress and more negativity than accepting what's going on. So let's look at tapping for that. Even though I know I'm not in control of everything, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I have no control over the weather during the holidays. I might plan an outside meal and it rains. I'm stuck with having to make changes. I have no control over what happens. I have no control over the weather. I don't have control over other people that show up late or maybe bring a guest that I didn't intend them to bring. I have no control over these things, or a flight that's been canceled and I'm stuck in a place I don't want to be stuck without a hotel room in the middle of an airport. These are all things that I have no control over. I have no control over things during the holiday. Life's going to throw things at me that I feel powerless over, things I need to accept. I feel totally out of control. And I just need to accept them. I feel total out of control over this situation. Running out of gas on the highway. A flat tire. Total control. Loss of total control. Even though I feel like I have no control over anything, I deeply, completely love and accept myself. Take a deep breath. Okay. So now it's time to get your merry ho-ho on and enjoy the holidays. I'm going to go back to this. I hope that you have enjoyed this presentation and that you've taken away some hints on how to relax during the holidays and how to enjoy them, how to tap through any holiday blues that you might have. This is a recording and you can watch it more than once. You can download it. Please don't share it with your friends because it was a paid service. And if your friends want a copy, you can point them to my website so they may get a copy of their own and enjoy it. Again, I encourage you that anything comes up during the holidays, or really any time, is you have a tapping journal so that you can move forward without stress. I've used the meridian tapping so much in my life, and it's really helped me in a lot of ways. And these are some of my credentials. Again, I am an emotional regenerator. My company is Total Life Solutions. I am certified an EFT practitioner through Gary Craig's program. He was the original EFT guru. And I took the Advanced Psyche class through Rob Williams, and I am a certified facilitator. I'm also a licensed minister, and I have a master's in mental health counseling from Nova Southeast University and a Bachelor of Science degree in vocational home economics education from Florida State University. You can contact me and go over to my website. I have some videos that that are very informative. It shows Gary Craig talking about EFT. It also shows Rob Williams discussing Psych-K and what it's all about. And I also have some other courses and workshops and other things that you might find beneficial to you. And here's my phone number. And connect with me on Facebook if you haven't already. I share some spiritual, inspirational messages many times. So I want to say thank you for taking the time to get your Merry Ho Ho on, and have a wonderful, blessed holiday. Bye-bye.